It's a typical day for 21-year-old Jasmine, walking down the street when suddenly a squad car pulls up beside her. Before she can even react, two officers jump out, accusing her of something she didn't do. Their words sting, their attitude harsh. This isn't just a traffic stop, it's a full-blown power trip. But little do they know, they've made a huge mistake. A reputation that sends chills down the spines of even the toughest soldiers. He's the most feared Delta Force commander in the world, known for his unmatched skills, his calm under pressure, and his relentless pursuit of justice. No one crosses him without facing consequences. Yet, Jasmine, his only daughter, has always lived a life far from the shadows of his career. She's independent, confident, and fiercely proud, but she's also felt the weight of living in his shadow. As the officers continue their taunting, Jasmine stands her ground, her calm demeanor betraying nothing of the storm brewing inside. She's been through worse before, training from her father, lessons in strength and resilience that she carries with her every day. But this time, it's different. The cops don't know who they're dealing with, and it's only a matter of time before they realize their mistake. The officers' voices grow louder, but Jasmine's expression never falters. She's waiting for the moment, waiting for the phone call that will change everything. In the back of her mind, she knows one thing for certain: this encounter is far from over. What happens next will not only determine the outcome of her day, but could send shockwaves through everyone involved. The tension between Jasmine and the officers escalates. One of them, Officer Stevens, steps closer, his voice sharp, almost mocking. "You think you can just walk around here like you own the streets?" He sneers, trying to provoke a reaction. Jasmine remains quiet, her jaw clenched, eyes fixed firmly on the ground. But inside, her mind races. She could tell them who her father is, but that's not how this works. Her father never taught her to use his name to get out of situations. It's not about reputation, it's about what you can do when your back's against the wall. Officer Stevens eyes her suspiciously. He's not sure why she's not backing down, and it's starting to get under his skin. His partner, Officer Clark, watches the scene unfold from a distance, unsure of how far they should push. There's something about Jasmine that seems different, calm, collected, but with an edge that suggests she could be dangerous in a way they can't predict. The words being exchanged are starting to blur in Jasmine's mind. She's not even fully listening anymore, just waiting for the inevitable call. She knows her father will be here soon. He always knows when things get out of hand. And when he arrives, the situation will take a drastic turn. But even as she anticipates this, she can't shake the feeling that something else is going on here. It's not just about her. There's a hidden agenda behind this confrontation. The cops are here for more than just a routine stop. Jasmine's intuition, sharpened by years of growing up with a father who never let his guard down, tells her that this is no accident. The more she stands there, the more she realizes this is bigger than any petty encounter. This is a warning, and someone has orchestrated it. The minutes drag on, each one heavier than the last. Jasmine can feel the heat of the officer's stares, but her eyes stay fixed on the ground, her mind working through the possibilities. The tension between her and the cops is suffocating, the air thick with uncertainty. Stephen's voice cuts through the silence again, louder this time, more forceful. "I'm giving you one last chance. Step away from the car, or we'll have to take you in." Her heart races, but her face remains calm, betraying none of the fear she feels. The weight of the situation presses on her chest, but she knows she can't back down. She won't give them that satisfaction. Her phone buzzes in her pocket. Finally, the call she's been waiting for. Without looking at it, she knows exactly who it is, but something's off. The timing feels too perfect, too calculated. "Not yet," she thinks to herself, making a split-second decision. She ignores the call and presses on, trying to maintain control. The officer's patience is wearing thin. Clark looks at Stevens, exchanging a glance, and that's when Jasmine knows something's about to break. Stevens takes another step forward, his voice low but menacing. "You think you can stand here and act like you're untouchable? You don't know who we are. This ends now. Jasmine's pulse quickens. She's never felt this vulnerable before. She can see the shift in their demeanor, a predatory glint in their eyes. The calm facade she's been holding up is starting to crack, and just as she's about to respond, the sound of screeching tires echoes down the street. Her instincts go on high alert. In the blink of an eye, a black SUV barrels around the corner, stopping just short of the curb. The door slams open, and a man in tactical gear steps out, tall, imposing, and with an unmistakable presence. Jasmine's heart skips a beat as her father steps onto the pavement. But it's not just his presence that makes her freeze. There's something about the look in his eyes, a storm brewing, a silent promise of something far more intense than just a father defending his daughter. This confrontation isn't just about a power struggle between law enforcement and a young woman anymore. This is a war about to unfold, and it's clear that neither side is prepared for what's coming next. The moment Jasmine sees her father, a mix of relief and fear floods her chest. But before she can even breathe a sigh of relief, something unexpected happens. Stevens and Clark, still standing in front of her, don't flinch at the sight of the towering figure approaching them. They exchange a brief, almost knowing glance. It's as if they've been expecting this. Jasmine's father, Commander James Donovan, walks towards them with a deliberate calm. But it's the look on his face, the cold, focused intensity, that makes her stomach tighten. This isn't just about protecting her anymore. It's something much deeper. She can sense it, even though she doesn't understand it yet. Something's wrong. As James reaches the officers, he doesn't say a word at first. He simply stands there, his eyes locking with Stevens, a silent challenge in the air. The officers, still holding their ground, now seem unsure, shifting nervously. Jasmine watches, unable to speak, her mind racing. What is going on? Why aren't they intimidated? And then, just as James opens his mouth to speak, another vehicle screeches around the corner, another black SUV, but this one is different. This time, it's not just the presence of a man in tactical gear. This time, there are multiple figures, people Jasmine doesn't recognize, but their eyes are locked on her father, not her. The tension in the air multiplies. A woman steps out first, dressed in black, her posture as commanding as James' own. She looks at Jasmine with a piercing gaze before turning to face James. "You were always predictable, Donovan," she says coldly, her voice cutting through the thick silence. Jasmine's heart skips a beat. The woman's words are like a shot to the chest. "You didn't think it would be this easy, did you?" For the first time, James' expression falters. The realization hits Jasmine all at once. This isn't just some random encounter. Her father has enemies, powerful ones, and they've been tracking him for longer than she could have imagined. And now those enemies are standing right in front of them, waiting for the right moment to strike. Jasmine can feel the weight of the world bearing down on her as the woman's gaze shifts to the officers, and then back to James. The air grows heavy with anticipation, the tension so thick it feels like it could snap at any moment. She's no longer just a bystander. Her life, her father's life, and the truth about what's really happening here are all about to collide in a way none of them could have foreseen. The woman stands there, eyes locked on James, her hands slowly flexing as if she's waiting for him to make a move. The tension is unbearable. Every second feels like an eternity. Jasmine watches her father's face closely. For the first time, she sees a flicker of doubt in his eyes, something unfamiliar, something that makes her breath catch in her throat. He's not just facing off with the police. He's facing someone he's tried to keep hidden from the world, someone he clearly thought would never come for him. "You thought you could retire," the woman continues, her voice dripping with disdain. "But you can never escape your past, James. You should have known better." James doesn't flinch. He looks at her, his jaw tightening. "This isn't about me. This is about her." He nods towards Jasmine, and the weight of his words hits her like a punch to the gut. He's not just protecting her from the cops anymore. He's protecting her from something far darker. The officers, realizing they're in over their heads, start backing away. But not before Stevens mutters under his breath, "We didn't know, Donovan. We didn't know what we were getting into." Jasmine turns her attention to the woman, her heart racing. Who is she? What does she want? The woman smiles, but it's not a friendly smile. It's the kind of smile you give when you know you're about to break someone. But before she can say anything more, a loud explosion rips through the air. A shockwave sends them all stumbling back, their ears ringing. Jasmine's eyes go wide with terror as the ground shakes beneath them. The SUV that had pulled up earlier is now engulfed in flames, smoke rising into the sky. James immediately jumps into action, pulling Jasmine behind him as the chaos unfolds around them. The woman, seemingly unfazed, only watches with a cold, calculating gaze. Jasmine's mind races. What the hell just happened? Was that an attack? Who'd have done this? Her father doesn't answer her unspoken question. Instead, he grabs her arm, his grip firm and protective, leading her toward the black SUV, the one that had just arrived with the woman. "Get in the car," he orders. His voice is low but urgent. "Now." As they begin to move, Jasmine hesitates for a split second. She looks over her shoulder to see the woman stepping away from the wreckage, her eyes still locked on them. But just as they're about to reach the vehicle, the woman's voice rings out. "You're too late, Donovan. This isn't just about you anymore." And then, in the blink of an eye, everything changes. James, the man who had always been a rock for her, the man who taught her how to fight, how to survive, suddenly collapses, dropping to his knees. Blood begins to pool around him. Jasmine screams, rushing to his side. She doesn't understand how. Why? The woman steps forward again, her face twisted in a knowing smirk. "It's already done. You just didn't know who was really pulling the strings all along." Jasmine's entire world shatters in that moment. Her father, the legendary commander, the man who had seemed invincible, has been betrayed, and the twist cuts deeper than anything she could have imagined. The woman wasn't just his enemy, she was his ally once. And now Jasmine is standing on the edge of something far more dangerous than she could ever have prepared for. The game has just changed, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Everything she thought she knew has been ripped apart, and there's no telling who she can trust anymore. But one thing is certain, she's in this now, whether she's ready or not. Jasmine's hands tremble as she kneels beside her father, the man who had always been her protector now bleeding out in front of her. She doesn't know who to trust anymore, but one thing is clear, this isn't over. The woman who had betrayed James stands still, her cold gaze fixed on Jasmine. But Jasmine can't afford to feel fear right now. She's not going to let her father's legacy end like this. Without thinking, she grabs the gun James had hidden in his jacket and aims it at the woman. The woman doesn't flinch. "You think you can stop this," she says, a cruel smile tugging at her lips. "This was never about you, girl. It's about the war no one saw coming."